There's a special place that I like to go when nobody's home, to increase my understanding, my daily bread that amazing. I'm talking about precepts, precept on precept, line upon line, precept on precept, line upon line, babe. I can't keep explaining, can't study for you. I can't think of nothing, wasn't nothing.
We are not a hate group. We're not affiliated with any other Israelite group. Israel United in Christ is a nonviolent, Bible-based movement. We do not advocate or condone any acts of violence against any race, ethnicity, or gender. We advise that if anyone hears or knows of any plots to cause harm to anyone or to break the laws of the land, you must contact the proper authorities to bring awareness to any possible threat as stated in Leviticus chapter 5, verse 1.
Hey, Shalom Israel. Welcome to another edition of Precept Upon Precept. We got a fifth brother tonight. We are your hosts. My name is Captain Shim.
Captain Matt. Officer Mikael.
Officer Micah.
Officer Thomas.
All praise to the Most High. Officer Thomas was on the tech team for years with us, and now he is back in effect. So all praise to the Lord, as we always do. It's a late show. Y'all got to share this. A lot of people are already in bed, get ready to go to bed. Share this. Hit the bell notification. We're at 27.3. Let's get to 30K. Officer Michael with the Watchman Report. Take it away.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. I do not want to hold up the great show, so IT, let's go. Let's get it. People across the nation have lost jobs after posts about Trump shooting. Hey, keep y'all mouth closed. Still got to pay them bills. All right. Inside Biden's historic decision to drop out of the 2024 race. Hey, this was a good read, so you might want to read up on why Biden decided to drop out of the presidential race. Delta CEO sees flight disruptions lasting for another couple of days. So make sure if you're checking your flights, because I got a couple flights that didn't change them multiple times. So make sure you're checking your flights. All right. Next article. Replace Biden. Some Republicans say that's illegal and plan to file lawsuits to stop it. So some people, they pretty mad about that thing right there. All right. Next article. 4 key takeaways from Biden's speech on his decision to pass the torch to a new generation. So this concludes the Watchman Report.
You are now flying.
Shalom, shalom. Welcome back. Precept upon precept, like we do after the Watchman Report, we show the thumbnail. So the thumbnail tonight is Officer Mikael and what has been going on lately.
So as y'all can see, the title is Joe Says No More. Esau ain't having it. So just like we just read about in the Watchman Report, Joe Biden is resigning his campaign ticket for 2024 and trying to give it to Kamala Harris. And the Republican Party ain't having it. They're trying to find ways to stop it. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight, y'all.
So all praise to the Most High, y'all. And listen, first thing we want to do is you at home. I was going to start off the show with something different, but this is funny. We're going to get a little laugh because these are the bloopers that President Joe Biden has been doing for the last 2.5, 3 years. This is funny. So they're doing a Secret Service guy is doing like a voiceover about Joe, but it's funny because he really does need to be guided. And it's embarrassing that the leader of the whole free world is going senile. He's got a variation of dementia, and everybody can see it. So have a little laugh at home.
Secret Service team, the skydivers have landed and the Eagle is standing by for his photo op. The Eagle has been a bit distracted today, so all teams are on high alert. Wait, why is he grinning like that? Stand by. All units, the Eagle appears to be very distracted by something and may be a flight risk. And there he goes. Secret Service team, the Eagle is wandering. Jesus Christ. Code Gray, sending in Agent Pantsuit to recover the Eagle. Agent Pantsuit, go ahead and let the Eagle sniff your hair if he needs to. Secret Service team, patch me into the Eagle so I can give instructions. Mr. President, this is the Secret Service. I need you to put your sunglasses on. Very good. Take your time. No rush. Great. Now bring your hands down to your side. Both hands. Perfect. Hold that pose. Go ahead and relax your arms, Mr. President. You look a little stiff. Or maybe try putting a hand in a pocket. Or not. Secret Service team, the Eagle is frozen.
Hey, so that's a little funny something. But Joe Biden should not be the president of the United States. And tonight we're going to show you that this is probably very much staged. So,
this should show that the presidency is a puppet.
yes.
That the president don't run the country. It's obvious. He is not making decisions.
Hey, go to somebody posted above. Officer Mickey posted the letter. Go down, get the letter ready. It's number one in tonight's content. But I want you to. I got a video to back up what Mikhail posted. Go to put the letter up first. If we could have now, Cap Matt made a statement before the show, or maybe it was Officer Mikhail, that Joe Biden most likely didn't write this letter. So we're just gonna see. Does he admit to being senile? Does he admit, or how does he go out? How do his writers frame him?
My fellow Americans, over the past 3.5 years, we have made great progress as a nation. Today, America has the strongest economy in the world. We've made historic investments in rebuilding our nation and lowering prescription drug costs for seniors and in expanding affordable health care to a record number of Americans. We've provided critical need care to 1 million veterans exposed to toxic substances, passed the first gun safety law in 30 years, appointed the first African-American woman to the Supreme Court, and passed the most significant climate legislation in the history of the world.
Now remember, the climate legislation back, it started with Senator Kerry. When you read about the green initiatives, all of the shows we did on farmer protest are because of that. That initiative led by the U.S. is causing farmers all over the world to strike. Why? Because the regulations expected in 2030 are unrealistic. Okay, so read on.
America has never been better positioned to lead than we are today. I know none of this could have been done without you, the American people. Together, we overcame a once-in-a-century pandemic and the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. We've protected and preserved our democracy, and we've revitalized and strengthened our allegiances around the world.
All right, so now, go ahead, Cap.
Obama wrote that.
Right.
I'm listening to the words, how his speech pattern. That Obama wrote that.
So
That's his homeboy. That is his homeboy.
Obama said years ago, he said, if anybody could F this up, it's Joe. He said that. He said that. He said that. He said, they said, what do you think about Biden, being your successor? There you go. That's the word I was looking for. Your successor. He said, look, if anybody could F this up, it's Joe.
Yeah, he did it.
So go to the next one. It says Biden drops out. It's basically, I believe it's a similar letter, but it's a short video. It's timestamp 8:48 at the bottom.
I bet Biden didn't even read this, Cap.
You're probably right. 8:48. Are they seeing this? Okay.
He read My Fellow Americans and started talking about
Right.
something that happened in 1932. Then realized he had to use the bathroom. Didn't make it to the bathroom. Peed on himself a little bit.
When he got ice cream.
Had to go get changed and get some ice cream.
So this is all going down amongst pressure from Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and other political leaders in the Senate and the House of Representatives pressure for Joe to step down. So it's not about him. He wanted to stay in. His colleagues in the party know that he was going to lose. That's why they put pressure on him. So check it out.
Welcome back to Live Now from Fox, and we have some breaking news as President Joe Biden has just announced that he is dropping out of the 2024
That's
presidential.
the same letter that Officer Mikael posted and Officer Micah just read. I think they're going to read it, but there should be something else on this.
Race. This happening just moments ago. You are taking a look at the letter that he has just issued, and we are going to read it in its entirety. It says, "My fellow Americans, over the past 3.5 years."
See something. Just keep going until we see the letter off the screen. You know what I'm saying? Keep going. If you see it, I don't want to read the whole thing again, but there should be something else at the end. Do me a favor, get this one and get me a scripture in Isaiah, Thomas. It says, "In the liberal, the vile." That's it. Beautiful. Okay, the whole video. So basically, Mikael posted that. I didn't even know he did, just to show you that is a letter that's all over the internet, all over YouTube. So a lot of black people really have the mindset that the liberal Democratic Party is the party for black America that represents black people and the interests of black America. But we know that the Republicans historically have been white is right, white conservative, and many of us have voted Democrat before this truth. But watch what God says about the Democratic Party in liberalism or liberals. Read.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 32 and verse 5. The vile person shall be no more called liberal.
Why? Because liberals are vile. How are they vile? You've got same-sex marriage laws. You've got other laws that they're pushing that destroy the fabric of the nuclear American family, which the black American family back in the 60s and previously had a father, a husband in the house, children in order despite segregation, despite civil rights. Once the father was taken out of the house and liberal rights were given, feminism was given, guess what happened? The black family has been destroyed. Read it one more time.
The vile person shall be no more called liberal.
Why? Because they're vile right now. Read on.
Nor the churls said to be bountiful.
Right. Nor the churls said to be bountiful. Now, go to, let's look at, do I want to see? Okay. Get me the one where the Trump says, nope, that's too long. I'm not going to go there. Let's look at Kamala Harris's first speech. Kamala Harris's first speech. And then I'm going to come back and show you what Judge Joe Brown says about Kamala Harris.
Hey, Cap, Judge Joe Brown went in.
Yep, hey, I got it. That brother was crazy. I'm going to post that. So this is Kamala Harris, who now allegedly is now black American, which doesn't make sense. And as a matter of fact, somebody posted, please, if we can find that, where it shows that she descends from Irish slaveholders. Somebody posted that, and it might have been Officer Yasser.
Yeah, it was Officer Yasser that posted that earlier.
Please get that. We're going to go into a little bit about this lady and what other people are saying about Kamala, and it's not Trump. Yeah, play, please.
Kamala Harris speaks for the first time since President Biden dropped out.
In one term, he has already, yes, you may clap. In one term, he has already surpassed the legacy of most presidents who have served 2 terms in office.
With the national spotlight on Kamala Harris, we're learning that the Veep was at her official residence at the U.S. Naval Observatory in D.C. when Biden dropped his bombshell. Donald Trump is already on the attack.
I call her Laughing Kamala. You ever watch her laugh? She's crazy. You know, you can tell a lot by her laugh.
This is why you got to listen. You don't have, not have to really like Don, but you got to respect the guy. The guy don't give a damn. He's talking about her like she's a nothing. I call her Laughing Kamala. Trump, he's hard to deal with.
Cap, we was talking about it earlier before the show. Black people love Trump.
Yeah.
Trump has been in many rap videos. Trump has been the subject of being rich among rap people, among black people. People brag about having an apartment in the Trump Towers.
Yep.
People brag about trying to get Trump money.
Mm-hmm.
Black people been loving Trump.
Before his presidency.
Way before his presidency. And now they act like, oh, this guy's such a racist. Y'all been loving this dude. Y'all been loving him for a long time.
You know, also love him is Democrats, because Donald Trump was a Democrat for many years.
Yep.
Oprah loved him. You know why a lot of the Democrats loved him? Because he patted them. He gave them campaign money. And now when it was time for him to run, he got into the political arena and realized this is all a farce.
Yep.
And this guy does not need money. He's actually doing, and you might sound like I'm pro-Trump, he's actually doing what he believes represents the American people. Now, us, Revelation 18, verse 4, we are not going to go with the grain of the American people because we are not to be of this world. We have to separate ourselves mentally and spiritually from this place. Revelation 18, verse 4.
Yes, sir. The book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people.
That voice is not God speaking and saying, hey, don't eat pork. Hey, don't celebrate Christmas. It's us on the streets teaching. It's the first video you saw that pulled you into the truth. The first IUIC teaching or Israelite teaching you heard on the block that said, wait a minute, that sounds like that's the truth. So we heard the voice of God through prophets. Read on.
That ye be not partakers of her sins.
Right. Everything that Trump stands for is still upholding white America, white supremacy. We got to come out of this. We're just showing you that despite all this political arena that's going on, the next half of the show, there's so many other things that are going on that's so more important that they have the Negroes in this country talking about Biden, Harris, and Trump, okay? Well, the entire American economy is going down. And we're going to show you that later on. Play on, read on.
And that ye receive not of her plagues.
And we want to escape nuclear fire. We do not want to be the victims of our souls and our bodies being destroyed. Because they can take our flesh, but our spirit will live on. And we want the kingdom of heaven. So all of this is to show you the head spin that they put on our people. And is it funny? Yeah, I like Trump. Trump is a funny guy. If you don't think Trump is funny, something wrong with you. So now, we going to play that? Play it. Yes, sir.
It's nuts.
MSNBC's Joe Scarborough says Trump is melting down over Biden's withdrawal.
Suddenly, he's the old guy in the race by a long shot.
Democrats are falling in line, endorsing Harris.
I have every confidence that she could beat Donald Trump.
I think it's very, very unlikely that there's going to be a credible challenge. It's very hard to imagine how that could start up in a credible way. With the head of steam that Harris has got and the mountain that any candidate would have to climb.
Yesterday,
So,
Senator
real
Joe
quick,
Manchin.
They said that she's raised $145 million. Well, you have the backings of ultra liberals like George Soros and other men with a lot of billions of dollars that are giving her tens of millions of dollars. Why? Because Trump is going to go against and break up all of the special interests of so-called the left. Trump is going in and talking about in the UN, you got to pay your bills. Trump's like, NATO, I'll take it apart. He's destroying what the political system, and that's why I believe they might try to kill him again. I pray that they don't, but this is probably not the first time. Okay, and the whole time this is going on, you got white people in the background. They don't care if she's East Indian. That's a nigger. Kamala, I want no nigger in my White House. Barack Obama, they let that go, and so you're going to see a lot. You might see a civil war happen if Kamala Harris gets in office. These things are really distracting us from what's really going on outside of these continental U.S. shores. Okay.
Cap, yeah, I posted a picture. I don't know if y'all can put it up there real quick.
Yes, put it up.
But I'm gonna show you, Cap, how Carmella got the Negro vote.
Oh, now she in the collard greens.
That
Look at this.
the picture. You got it. Got it covered. And if I may read one scripture, Proverbs 1 and verse 22. Because our people, there it is, right there. Here we go. That's how she got the Negro right there with a bottle of Texas Pete. A bottle of Texas Pete. Now all of a sudden, oh, she black. She can cornbread and collard greens. She must be one of us.
Right, that was all staged. All that
That's
staged.
it.
Can y'all zoom in, please? Because wait, before you zoom in, look at the background.
Okay.
She's not eating among Negroes.
No.
All right, so zoom in. The greens.
Cap. All they saw was the Texas Pete.
Go ahead. Yeah. You see that right there? Them ain't greens. Them ain't greens. I'm black. I've been black my whole life. People in the comment section, can you please clarify for me? How many of y'all have ever put hot sauce on greens? Maybe I'm tripping, but I ain't never put hot sauce on greens. And furthermore,
You know the problem I see right here? The cornbread ain't in the green.
that's what I'm saying.
thank
That's
you.
what I was about to
There
say.
we-
The
there we
cornbread,
go.
there's nothing to go with the cornbread. You gotta look like a Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich
Right.
with some cornbread right there and some greens. With a when the hot sauce got a flip top.
Now Texas Pete, you got to screw.
You got to screw
I'm
that.
from
You know what I'm
Texas.
saying?
I'ma
Like,
tell you straight.
look. We black. We real black. That right there,
ain't
that's a white person's menu right there. That's a white person's plate.
Yeah.
Yep.
Ain't no grease on the napkin and the plate or none of that. There's supposed to be some grease in there. But read that for me also real quick.
Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 22. How long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity?
That's what's wrong with the American Negro right there. They love it. Like, she got to be for us. That Texas Pete is finna get her elected. That's what I'm telling you. She just got the liberal vote right there with a bottle of Texas Pete. Cap.
And that drink ain't got no ghetto punch in it.
Nothing.
No.
Just putting it out there, that drink is unsweet tea.
But that's circulating all over there, and I'm done. That's it.
Hey, so let's go to now. What we're gonna go to a YouTube short of everybody know Judge Joe Brown. He's known for a very austere. I had a show Judge Joe Brown for many years, and now that he's retired and off the bench, he's been pretty open with his opinions about various political officials as well as other people in the news. Where when he was on the bench, he had to watch what he could say certain times. Joe Brown about to talk about the vice president and future Democratic representative of the Democratic Party, Kamala Harris. Check him out.
I'm scared to talk about Kamala Harris. I'll let you have that one.
Nah, she's a witch, and she is a corrupt witch. She's been corrupt her whole life, and she fucked her way to the top.
Oh, Lord.
They used to detail this witch in the LA Times with her sexual escapades. She's fucked damn near everybody trying to get up. She used to be a frat hoe when she was at Howard. And she ain't black. You know
I ain't got to do with this, Miss Harris.
Nah, I mean, well.
So that's Judge Joe Brown in saying she's not black, right? And that when she was at Howard, Howard is a all-black university in the greater D.C. area. And at Howard University, she was in a fraternity, frat meaning fraternity, meaning whole, meaning she did a lot of sexual favors, and she was known around Howard's campus. How would he know that? Why? What would make him want to say those things? Why would a former judge say those things?
Cap, as people get older, they start to care less and less about what people think, and they just tell you like it is, no matter what. Judge Joe Brown is at that point in his life. Like, he's been a judge for 30 years, and he has had a lot of influence on people. He's made a lot of political connections. He's done a lot behind the scenes, in the black community. He could probably know some things.
Mm-hmm. So go to, I want to touch back to the assassination, because this week there was a major, it was covered to a certain degree. There was a woman named Mrs. Cheadle. So timestamp, it's a short. The United States Secret Service head had so much pressure put on this woman because of the gross negligence we covered a couple shows ago, last show, about why and how Donald Trump had a shot fired from a building 150 yards away. So this is going on. In order for someone to be pressured to resign, there has to be a major dereliction of duty or oversight that's so drastic. And she got it from both sides of the Democrats and Republicans. Watch this, and this is Kimberly. That's her name, Kimberly Cheadle.
President Trump, who met with Cheadle at the RNC last week, is out with his own statement. It's not very kind to her. He says, she never gave me proper protection, so I ended up having to take a bullet for democracy. Many requests were made by on-site Secret Service for more people, always with a turn down or no response. I have the biggest crowds in history, and they should be treated accordingly. Big improvements have been made over the last week. Now, Cheadle resigning, of course, after that disastrous performance yesterday in front of the Oversight Committee. This is Speaker Johnson, moments after calling for her to resign and then hearing that she, in fact, did. Watch.
I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to see that she has heeded the call of both Republicans and Democrats. Now we have to pick up the pieces. We have to rebuild the American people's faith and trust in the Secret Service as an agency.
Now, get me this one, I don't know the timestamp. We're going to get the perspective of a Navy SEAL on, I believe he climbs up on the roof and gives us a perspective of that roof. All this happened in the last week and a half. Donald Trump missed his life taken by about 2-3 inches, okay? You had the USS Secretary of Defense lead, Kimberly Cheadle, resign. You had Joe Biden step down. A lot has happened, and all of this makes America look even weaker. We come back after Kingdom Music and the rest of the break. We're going to show you what's been going on. So America's not going to have Kamala Harris. But all while this is going on, something's happening across the earth that's taking the U.S. and leaving it in the dust, slowly but surely. And that's why they try to blind you with all of the sorcery of the media. Joe Biden retires, Trump got shot, all of these things, and no one's watching what's happening throughout the rest of the globe. It's absolutely amazing. So, ex-Navy SEAL examines the actual roof.
I'm up here on the building where the supposed sniper took his shot. It's not that steep at all. Just had a 70-year-old man back here climb up on the roof easily. See that water tower behind me? Had Secret Service or anybody had sniper teams up there, this guy wouldn't have made it. 5 feet up this roof, he would have been taken out. Behind me, you see the windows.
Pause right there. So what he's about to say is there was supposed to be someone in that window. Well, not only there should have been someone in all those windows at the water tower. Look at the line of sight where the guy was, because remember the pitch of that roof is like, a normal pitch roof is about 412. That pitch is like this. For an elderly man could walk up on it. So that means they're a huge target when they're walking on it. And watch what he says about that window.
Secret Service was supposedly in the second floor of this building behind. Makes you wonder why they weren't able to quickly dispatch the individual.
That's it? Okay, I thought it was more. The reason why she got the pressure to resign is because it was, if it was negligent, it was the worst negligence in the history of the Secret Service. But I think it wasn't. And the reason why is because that's so damn blatant. How do you not have a guy waiting in the window? It would have never happened. Someone got the word, stand down, or they created their jurisdiction zones. Once you're here on back, only local security. I see you. So all of these things are happening in this last week. Why do they get you with so much stuff? We come back from break, we're going to show you what is happening with the U.S. dollar. And some major things have happened in the last week and a half or less. So how much, 5 minutes, Nima? 15 minutes, that's it. Okay.
Hey, Cap, you would wonder, because I didn't even know that the water tower was back there.
Yeah.
You wonder why wasn't nobody at the water tower? Like, why wouldn't that be a primary vantage point for the Secret Service or their defense?
Right.
Why?
It's bird's eye. You can look
bird's
down
eye
at
view, exactly.
all them buildings.
And Cap, I watched the actual whole interview where they interviewed the cheat. They called it Cheeto in the video. Well, it was on the Pink Book list. She showed the whole interview. There were people screaming at the agencies, like, "There's a guy up there with a rifle. There's a guy up there with a rifle. There's a guy up there with a rifle." They did nothing. Nothing. The people that were there for the rally, they were letting them know, "Hey, somebody's up there. Somebody's up there." Guy got 4 to 5 shots off before they even reacted.
So, real quick, we have how much? 10 minutes before the break? We got some time. Do me a favor. Go to, let's look, while the United States is divided politically and assassination attempts on the presidency and failed and people getting fired, look what's going on with the Arabs. Go over to, it says the dragons in Yemen. I want you to look at the sea of Arabian Yemenis. Watch this. Everybody is uniting. The Arabs are uniting. Vladimir Putin is making alliances throughout all of Eastern Asia. And the U.S. has got us black people completely immersed in a bunch of BS that has nothing to do with us. Look, pause. All of those, look at how many, just in this one frame, look how many thousands of people are just in this one frame. Now, wait till he pans around and listen to the unity that these Arabs are having. 2nd Ezra chapter 15 is going to come to pass, and it's going to come to pass sooner than we know it. Play that. So pause real quick. There are tens of thousands of Arabs standing together in unity, chanting the same thing. This is one rally in one Arab country called Yemen. Pull up a map of Yemen. I know I told you not to. And I want you to understand that if they're allowing us to see this. These Arabs, 2nd Ezra 15. Get me 2nd Ezra chapter 15. We hear, beautiful, before we read that. So Yemen is a very pivotal country. Why? Because that strait, I can't read it. That is one of the most important straits, which Eritrea, which is Africa, and Yemen. That strait is where an immense amount of oil traffic goes to the Red Sea. Look at that passage. Yes, sir. We've covered it. Right. This got another name as well. We've covered it. That is one of the most important straits in the world for commerce. That's where many of the pirates are hijacking Caucasian ships from these white countries. Yemen. That's where the video we're watching is taking place. Can we scroll out? No, I like that. Show the, there you go right there. See the Saudi Arabia? Look at to your right. If we look right there, you got Saudi Arabia. That's the largest oil producing country. Then you've got Oman and Yemen. And you've got two very important straits. One strait is a strait on the Yemen in Eritrea. And there's another strait which is next to the Gulf of Oman. Go up a little bit. These two straits, Iran and the United Arab Emirates, and Yemen and Ethiopia and Eritrea. These straits right here, guess what? Are Arab countries. And this is what the U.S. is starting to lose is secondary reserve currency. Why? Because we're going to see in a minute, they cannot protect the countries and they cannot provide the security. They are losing hope in the U.S. dollar. Go back to that video. I want to show all of these Yemenis.
Hey, Cap, and I did a Google Translate on what they doing. They standing with Gaza. All of the stuff that they shouting is about Gaza rising up and taking over.
No. Okay, look it up. Look it up. So while we're immersed with Donald Trump getting shot, Joe Biden stepping down, the Secretary of the Secret Service being forced to resign, all of these things, Kamala Harris and the banter back and forth between political parties. You got the Arabs. You got the Arabs standing as one. We are living in biblical prophecy right now. This is why we have to watch different news sources. We have to search. You have to search for stuff. You can't just expect this to show up on your feed, man. Play it. Pause. There are probably at least 100,000 people there or more. And I may be very much underestimating. Look at the size, the magnitude of these people. And they all came together for what? To stand. Those are not all one flag. They're different. I think they're different flags, right? Or is that one flag? I can't tell. Looks like maybe two different flags at least. And if they're doing it in Yemen, you don't think they have the same mind as Saudi Arabia? It's only a matter of time where this prophecy shall come to pass. Can we get 2 Ezra chapter 15?
Yes, sir. The book of 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 28.
Actually, start at verse 1 and 3, then jump to 28.
Verse 1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy.
So that's what we're doing. We're showing our people. This is prophetic, what Ezra is talking about. We're speaking to you the words of prophecy. We can look at this and see the Arabs are more united than we were in the 90s, more united than when they were 10, 20 years ago. This is epidemic. This is huge. Read on.
Which I will put in thy mouth, said the Lord.
And that's why you hear IUIC, the brothers in IUIC, we're telling you, look at this. The Arabs are going to remember. Read on.
Verse 3. Fear not the imaginations against thee.
Why? And all this is happening, we're going to get threats. Where some of us are going to go to jail. Some of us they're going to change laws to get the Israelites locked up. Don't worry about that. Read on.
Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee.
Right. What they can do to hurt us, don't let that trouble us. Now.
Hey, Cat, real quick.
Yes, sir.
What they were saying in the chanting was, "O Gaza, O Palestine, we're with you. You are not alone.
Wow.
All Yemenis stand with you. We miss you." Like this, they are coming together as brothers, letting them know, like, Gaza, Palestine, we standing with you. Y'all not by yourself. We got your back.
And remember, about a year ago, we did a show that it showed a whole Egyptian football or soccer arena with like 80,000 people all cheering free Gaza. That was in Egypt. Those are Arabs there. This is Yemen. There are millions and millions and millions of Arabs that are coming together. And they have so-called the Hamas, the Houthis, and the Hezbollah. Those are the ones that the U.S. lets us hear about. The prophecy says that something is going to happen that's bigger than we can imagine. So let's read that. And we're going to get to the Liberty Bell. Good job, Akiem. Read.
Verse 28. Behold, a horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east.
From the east. They call the east the Middle East. Read on.
Were the nations of the dragons of Arabia.
Who are the nations of the dragon of Arabia? Well, number one, Yemen is included in that. We're showing you the unity. Matt said, they're saying, Gaza free, we stand with you. Why? Because they see the oppression of over 35,000 Arab, who happen to be called Palestinian Arabs, who are being destroyed. And a lot of them, 2/3 are women and children. This is enraging the Arabs, the dragons of Arabia. Read on.
Shall come out with many chariots.
So right now, they're not coming out with chariots. Right now, they're standing together. They're rising up. They're angry. They burn flags. They decorate. They destroy landmarks. And they're showing that they're angry. But they have not come out with chariots yet. Read on.
And the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth.
The multitude of them, right now, they're divided. In particular, Saudi Arabia, who later on, and we come back from Captain Matt's Kingdom Music, they did something, Bible verses, they did something very heavy. In the last month, they did something that literally has started the dissension of the U.S. dollar, plummeting down. Read on.
That all they which hear them may fear and tremble.
Why? Because what do you think Caucasians, when they hear that, like me, we're just like, we know what's going to happen. But get into the mind of the Edomite. He knows all the dirt he's done in Iraq War I, Iraq War II, Afghanistan, how many tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of Arabs he has slaughtered. They had enough, and they're rising up. This is the prophecy. Read on.
Also, the Carmanians.
Now, let's talk about the Iranians. And guess what? The Iranians have something in common with the sons of Ishmael. Some of them are Arabs. They all have the umbrella religion of Islam. All of them together. That's what unites them. Read on.
Raging in wrath.
Why are they raging in wrath? Because they're watching children's body parts get recreated after 5,000-pound Israeli bombs blows up hospitals, and fathers are crying because of Instagram. Fathers are taking the child's head and putting it back together. Their arms are blown off. The world is seeing this. The world is seeing this. Guess what? In the 70s, all the war of 1968, all the wars before, they did the same thing. It just wasn't televised. Read on.
Shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood.
A wild boar is, if you go type in Google, wild boar hunting, and watch how a wild boar will charge and try to kill anything in its path. Okay? That's why when leopards hunt wild boars, they always attack from behind because they're such a formidable wild adversary. So God is comparing the Ishmaelites, the Arabs, to wild boars, meaning they're going to come out with chariots. They're going to come with a force that Esau not be ready for. Read on.
And with great power shall they come.
With what?
And with great power shall they come.
Right now, when you look, it don't seem like they're powerful. But they're going to join together. Read on.
And join battle with them.
Then they're going to join battle with who? The African Sudanese? No, the so-called white men. And they're starting right now. They're hijacking ships. They just started to win some of the battles in Gaza, near the West Bank. They're fighting all type of wars, and many of the Jewish Israelis are actually moving out of the land. Okay, they're not reporting everything that goes on. They just show you the Israeli victories with the IDF. Read on.
And shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians.
Right, and they're going to waste a portion of the land of Assyria. What was the land of Assyria? Is it Iraq? What is the land? The Assyria means oppressor. Who's the land of Assyria? The little dot called Israel. The white man, that's the land of the Assyrians. Right there. Read on.
And then shall the dragons have the upper hand.
And right now they don't. But then, which is going to happen prophetically, read on.
Remembering their nature.
They're going to remember, hold up. That's why they destroyed the Petra deal. Saudi Arabians are like, man, I let that stuff slide for all them decades. I had money. You know what? My brother is dying. They're going to all remember who they are, and they all have one thing, two things, the common underlying religious background of Islam and their hatred for the injustice the white man has done to those Arabs, and they're going to come together. That's it.
And if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them.
So that's what, the persecution is going to be so great, they are going to come and unite. That's prophecy. That's, when you read in Genesis, Ishmael had the princes, and they have a wild streak in them. So with that, listen, we get ready to go to break. Stick around. We got the Bible verses with Officer Mikael. We got our break, and we got kingdom music, the righteous music with Captain Matthew. Stick around. Shalom.
Yeah, that purple be a problem. They don't like that. We don't turn the other cheek. Yeah, we fight back. We keep the law. We teach the law. They don't like that. We waking up the 12 tribes. They don't like that. Yeah, that purple be a problem. They don't like that. We don't turn the other cheek. Yeah, we fight back. We keep the law. We teach the law. They don't like that. Waking up the 12 tribes. They don't like that. Yeah, that purple be a problem. They don't like that. We don't turn the other cheek. Yeah, we fight back. We keep the law. We teach the law. They don't like that. We waking up the 12 tribes. They don't like that. Yeah, that purple be a problem. They don't like that.
Hey, Shalom, Israel, Most High, Christ is blessed. This is your brother, Officer Mikael, and this is the Bible verses. And guess what? We're going to talk about a subject that Christians love. We're going to talk about some baptism. Go ahead and play the first video for me. Pray for the IT team. They trying to get it together, y'all. Go ahead.
I got to you in the name of Jesus. Have your way, Lord. Have your way, Lord. Have your way, Lord. I got to you in the name of Jesus. Have your way, Lord.
Okay. Okay. Nowhere in the Bible does it say get rock bottom in the pool of water. This man out here rock bottoming people in the pool of water. That's assault. What we just saw. Let's play this last one.
I'm not baptized.
This is my hero right here. This is my hero. But y'all play it.
In the name of the Father, and of his Son, Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit. Let's try that again. That head just go all the way down. One more time. Okay. He don't want to do it. He said that one.
You're not doing too much.
He said, y'all doing too much. And guess what? That little brother is absolutely correct. Y'all doing too much. And we're about to prove it out the Bible that y'all doing too much. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 21. 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 21. Because y'all out here doing way too much. All praise to the Most High. That little brother was in the spirit, man.
The book of 1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 21. The like figure whereunto even baptism doth also now save us, not the putting away of the filth of the flesh, but the answer of a good conscience towards God by the resurrection of Jesus Christ.
So it says, not the putting away of the filth of the flesh, but an answer of a good conscience. So let's go to Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 22. Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 22.
Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 22. For though thou wash thee with nitrate, and take thee much soap, yet thine iniquity is marked before me, saith the Lord God.
It said, though he wash you with nitrate and soap, you're washing yourself, you're getting clean, you're getting dipped in water. He said that iniquity, that sin is still marked before him. So what is it? How is it that we get baptized? Isaiah chapter 1, verse 16.
The book of Isaiah chapter 1, verse 16. Wash you, make you clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes. Cease to do evil.
It says, cease to do evil. Cease to do evil. It's the answer of a good conscience. Last scripture, Ephesians chapter 5, verse 26.
It's the book of Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 26. That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word.
The washing of water by the word. The word of God is how you get baptized. There is no other way. Being dipped in water, okay. Jesus Christ was dipped by John the Baptist. Why? Because prophecy had to be fulfilled. But John also said, I will decrease so that you increase, meaning water baptism had to stop. And we're at that point where water baptism had to stop because you get foolish like this. People getting rock bottom in the pools of water, little children out of the mouth of babes. You say, y'all doing too much. The other woman, she she wrestling with the pastor in the water because she probably felt like she was being attacked too. But hey, this has been the Bible versus water baptism. Y'all stay tuned. Shalom.
Yeah, that purple be a problem, they don't like that. We don't turn the other cheek, yeah, we fight back. We keep the law, we teach the law, they don't like that. We waking up the 12 tribes, they don't like that. Yeah, that purple be a problem, they don't like that. We don't turn the other cheek, yeah, we fight back.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. My name is Captain Shem, IUIC New Orleans. Help us to grow. YouTube page, subscribe, like, share, hit the bell notification. And now it's even easier, y'all.
Hey, and also part of New Orleans camp, we got the community cleanups. Cleaning up our neighborhood one at a time.
What y'all waiting for? Subscribe.
What are you waiting for? Subscribe! There's so much wrong going on in the world, but somehow we keep it all smile.
Subscribe and follow us on all social media accounts. We got TikTok, we got Twitter, we got Rumble, and YouTube. Make sure y'all follow IUIC New Orleans. Shalom.
Hey, also, we got flyer missions every day and also camp videos. Check us out, IUIC New Orleans.
So remember, go to our YouTube page, subscribe, like, share, and don't forget the QR code. When the QR code comes out, don't forget to take your phone out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Why isn't it done? Shalom, Israel.
Just to have a good time. That's why we say, all praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. All praises.
Tell your partner, I do know who God is, and I do love God, and I know who He is, because He's a mighty good God that we serve, baby.
We got a nation to wake up.
Definitely, 100.
The Bible is about laws, statutes, and commandments, and your obedience unto Him.
One of the things that's going to fix our community if we marry the black woman.
Good job, my brother. Keep it up.
Hey, Shalom, Shalom, Israel. We here in New Orleans, Louisiana, for the Essence Fest. We out here bringing the word of God out. We got thousands of brothers out here.
This is our 10th year coming down to touchdown to teach our people who we are, that we must repent and come back to God, law, statutes, and His commandments, man.
Here we're fishing for just one today, but the residual from the videos and from people seeing the example of us going out here casting down the imaginations of our people, that's going to compel even more to repent.
Such as marriage and committing adultery and realizing that if I love this woman, I need to go ahead and marry her and stop playing around.
Y'all know what to do. Take your phones out. Scan the QR code. Let us know how the broadcast team is doing tonight. We know how they're doing, but we want to hear it from y'all.
Round 911, where's your emergency? Yes, I'm calling. My son had come home from school.
You know, she said, have you heard from Kendrick? 12 o'clock, I knew he was dead.
When they said he climbed inside the mat to get the shoes, I already knew that was a lie.
We opened the body in this particular case, and the organs were not there.
Today, we are here with the mother of Kendrick Johnson. We're here to show support, solidarity, and build with our sister.
This is absolutely crazy. And as we hear this, we're hearing it now, but imagine a mother going through all of these years of unanswered questions.
It feels good to have people standing with us that I know mean business. And, you know, I ain't even worried about it. I don't feel like y'all gonna fall off. I'm glad to know that we got some brothers that demand justice with me.
What if that was your child? Okay? What if that was your son? What if that was your daughter? Would you let it go? I would hope not.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the King. Let's go.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ, blessed Cat Matt here with Kingdom Music. Look, we got yet another video from ASAP Judah. Look, I don't know, this dude must be over there getting money, because he be coming up with video like every other week. All right, so let's get into this real quick.
I be going so hard, pray your kingdom come. Try them I come and I pray I never run, no. Say I pray I never run, no. Say I pray I never run, no. I pray, make your kingdom, yeah, one day. So I pray, I make your kingdom, yeah, one day. Could have been a massive if I hit that left, Fizz got messy with Fibble Chef. Like we're just in the doodoo. I swing my Bible, preset look off his head. Like Nehemiah 8:10, man tryna get sent. Wake up, repent. Like open the Bible, spiritual lens. Like bun down Babylon, spiritual.
Bun down Babylon, spiritual armor. Romans 15:4. Study my fathers and man study to answer. Rich in the kingdom, care about no way. Need that spiritual baller. Come to the truth, go 10 times harder. Still gotta keep my guard up.
I be going so hard, pray your kingdom come. Try them I come and I pray I never run, no. Say I pray I never run, no. Say I pray I never run, no. I pray, make your kingdom, yeah, one day. So I pray, I make your kingdom, yeah, one day.
It's life, flow on crazy scripture daily. ASAP fly when he put a Mercedes. Chosen seed on them and shady. Charles, I'm can't let them feel. Conrad on no branches crazy. Hate them, so then they gon' hate me. Israel like them and it's rainy. From this time when I pray, help save me. We do the ting like, back on my ting like. To the man, then flee from the sin like. Bros got my back on my circle, been time. Can't tell Brown when I come so far. In the late prayer, don't get cast. Can't waste time cause it goes so fast. Can't look back, forget the past.
I be going so hard, pray your kingdom come. Try them I come and I pray I never run, no. Say I pray I never run, no. Say I pray I never run, no. I pray, make your kingdom, yeah, one day. So I pray, I make your kingdom, yeah, one day. Ooh, no.
Hey, so if you're looking for good music, Original Royalty got it. Go to originalroyalty.com, get all the latest music that Israel has to offer, and get the latest merchandise. Trust me, we got everything that you need. All right? So this has been Kingdom Music. Most High in Christ bless. Stay tuned. We're about to get back at it.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the King. Let's go.
Okay, all praises. Welcome back to the second half of the show. We talked first about Smoking Joe has to go. He's no more, and how Trump and Kamala Harris and how this upheaval in the political party, while now everything is going on outside of the U.S. and it's not being reported on. So I want you to get the timestamp where it goes into Morris Invest. It says the dollar is done, and it is at 8.59. It says collapse, and I have it timestamped so we can just go from 0 to 251. This is if you want to understand geopolitics, really you got to understand and watch the money. This guy is concerned. Esau's always concerned about his money, and he wants to know what's going on globally so he knows how to invest. And he's giving us a lot of gems here. While this is going on with Biden and Trump's attempted assassination, this is what's been going on with the U.S. dollar. Play.
Is better brace for impact. It is the total collapse of the U.S. dollar. It's not going to happen overnight. Remember, I said it's a slow burn, but it is happening. All of the cracks are there, and right now people are putting their fingers in the dike trying to hold back the floodgates. There are so many targets on the back of the U.S. dollar right now, and it's time to get prepared. If you're not ready, I mean, we've been warning you now for about 2 years here on this show. So you only have yourself to blame if you are not preparing right now. And today we're going to talk about multiple factors that are threatening the dollar and what you can do right now to secure your money and your future. The first major challenge the dollar is facing is its lowered position as the world's principal reserve currency. This is why the United States right now.
I want you to remember when he said its lowered value as the world's principal, meaning only world currency. It's a backup currency. As we bring out other things tonight, you're going to find out that other major powers are already have moved away or in the process of moving away when they do trade with one another, excluding the world's dollar. Before, when India wanted to do business with Russia, they would use the U.S. dollar. That's why they had such a stronghold economically over the whole planet Earth. So what he's saying is, I'm an investor. I got to watch my money. Here, this is what you should do. But again, the mainstream media is showing you a bunch of frivolous things that are not going to affect you other than, because guess what? Trump, if he's getting in office, or whether it's Biden or Harris, they're not calling the shots. It's all a farce. It's all a parlor trick for you. Okay? Play on.
Actively involved in so many wars, threatening so many countries right now because they need to have the U.S. dollar as the reserve currency of the world, and they back that up with guns. That's what the United States does. We will lend our military, we will bully you to use the U.S. dollar. That's how it works. That's how it's worked for decades since the Bretton Woods Agreement back after World War II.
Now, remember, we covered the Bretton Woods Agreement took place in New Hampshire. That's after World War II. That's when the U.S. really, because remember, they dropped the A-bomb on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. That's biblical when you read in Revelation. That solidified them, and they gained the world's currency. And later, about 30 years later, they signed what's called the petro deal, so that all monies that went through oil deals and other commodity markets went through the U.S. dollar. And they have enjoyed that power for the last 5 straight decades. It's all coming to end right now. The American public is clueless. You Negroes are clueless. And meanwhile, it's right here for you. You've got to search this out. Play.
So shore up your shipping lanes. You will use the U.S. dollar, and we will secure trade routes through the Red Sea, through the Suez Canal, all of that with our U.S. Navy. Except now, that, of course, has collapsed, and the U.S. Navy can't even secure shipping lanes through the Red Sea and through the Persian Gulf as a result.
Remember, pull up the map again, because we talked about it earlier. This is very important because the Arabs control that. If you pull the map of Yemen again. Yeah, please. So he talked about the Red Sea, and he talked about the Persian Gulf. Look at these two straits. All right, look at these two straits. Why? Before, the U.S. controlled everything. Now, these two straits, which is the one Perfect. Look at that. Yemen and off the coast of Iran and United Arab Emirates, the orange country right there. The U.S. Navy used to provide security, transports for. They can't do that anymore. And so this is one of the layers that the U.S. is now not able to keep their security agreements in these shipping lanes. Ships are getting hijacked. They're getting run over. Play. Yes, please.
Hey, look, while we're waiting on that video, can we get Isaiah chapter 14, verse 16? Because this is what's going on. While we got all this unrest and all this, the dollar is collapsing, all this political unrest in our country, this is what the other countries are saying. Read that.
Isaiah chapter 14, verse 16.
Uh-huh.
They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms?
Is this the same man that dropped the atomic bomb on Nagasaki and Hiroshima? Is this the same man that ended World War II? This can't be. This can't be the same man. You know? With a senile president and a real estate tycoon has his opponent and some wannabe black chick, this country? Nah, can't be. Can't be the same guys. Now let's get together and show our power, because it ain't them. They don't fear the United States anymore.
And that's a fact. That's why you see African countries are now siding with Russia, and you see French troops and U.S. troops are being forcibly told to leave our African countries. Now we know Russia is Esau, but the point is there's a changing of the guard. So play on. Okay. Yes, sir.
With the rebels attacking ships and cargo containers, so we can't even secure that. So the promise of security has dwindled significantly. Now, I have a whole nother video where I deep dive this topic, and I'll link it for you here. But for now, let's go over a quick overview of this. Since World War II, the United States dollar has been the world's principal reserve currency. And what this means is that institutions and central banks use the dollar for global trade for international transactions. For instance, commodities like oil, lumber, and gold are all priced in USD. And for decades, or really since the dollar's departure from the gold standard in the 1970s, the dollar has been on the
that. You ever wonder why you can go into the store and get bananas for 79 cents a pound for organic and 59 cents a pound for regular bananas? You know how much it cost them to produce and grow that, and we get it for pennies on the dollar? Because the U.S. has exploited markets and been strongholding with their currency. So if I'm Russia and I want to trade with Saudi Arabia, or if I want to trade with Iceland, they got to trade in the U.S. dollar. That is why the U.S., that's why we live like this. That's why we're the fattest country. We live off, victuals are cheap. You read it, and I think it's in Ezra. The victuals are cheap here. Why? Because America has robbed, pillaged, and bullied everybody with their military. He's saying it. This guy's spot on. We've been, IUIC Bishop has been covering this for years and years. And we're seeing the downfall of the dollar. Why? Watch what he's about to say. Read on.
This move clearly marked a major devaluation of the U.S. dollar, and it's all been downhill since then. Another big strike against the dollar is the major growth of China. China has become an absolute powerhouse. It's the world's largest exporter, and the GDP exceeds the United States GDP in terms of purchasing power. In fact, Antony Blinken, the U.S. Secretary of State, I call him the President of the United States because the guy actually in the White House is not really the president. Antony Blinken just flew to China a few weeks ago to basically threaten the Chinese government.
Real quick, we covered that. Blinken went over there. Instead of trying to use diplomacy to build relationships, he basically kicked the door in and said, you got to stop trading at this level. Your exportation is actually hurting the U.S., and it was seen as a sign of disrespect. Whereas Vladimir Putin is building relationships with all these Korean leaders, the Vietnamese leaders, the Laotian leaders, and not to mention the North Korean leaders, and fortifying Russian interest, while the U.S. is giving people a bad taste in their mouth on an already failing reserve currency. Play on.
Janet Yellen saying, hey, you guys are making too much stuff and you're exporting too much stuff. Can you stop? Can you stop doing that? It's hurting us. Imagine that. So right now the United States is being crushed, and of course China is now the leading exporter.
So now we're going to go to a next timestamp. In the interest of time, we're not going to play the whole video. And watch what is being said about high debt and inflation and what it is ultimately going to lead to. And we're going to show you that next. It's only like 2 minutes.
Funding being funneled towards the invasion of Ukraine has made the dollar less attractive to other countries. The Fed itself, it actually admits this. The Federal Reserve admits this on their very own website. We also cannot overlook the massive issue of national debt, which some may argue is the biggest threat to all. Our national debt is climbing at astronomical rates, reaching an all-time high of $34 trillion back in January.
34 trillion with a T. With a T is the debt, and every 100 days they're saying it another $1 trillion. Donald Trump is trying to get in office and break that apart. And this is the argument that they'll have you to believe. But at the end of the day, the federal government, the Federal Reserve rather, prints money with nothing to back it up.
What I'm tripping on is how we in debt, but we bully everybody. Like how's the U.S. in debt, but y'all rob the wealth of nations, y'all bully people into doing what y'all want them to do. You take over. If somebody did you something, or if somebody owed you money, you send it in the military. You send it in the jackals. Who are you in debt to?
Cap, not to mention, every time somebody gets in like Ukraine, let's send billions of dollars over there. Let's send a check to Israel every freaking week.
Right.
They not in debt. They not in debt, Cap.
It's a promissory note that they print. They can print as much of this paper as they want. That $34 trillion that they say they're in debt is because they moved that reserve note from a gold standard. So they're actually in debt to themselves. is what they're talking about, because they don't have to pay nobody else.
This is corrupt. Go ahead, Thomas. It's
I
corrupt.
was just going to say, Quadis is kept. Russia and China is buying up a lot of gold. They buying up the most gold, and so when a dollar fall, they're gonna reverse it and move everybody under their currency, because a lot of people don't know they under BRICS with Turkey. A lot of people don't know about India too. They sleeping on India, and China and Russia and all of them buying up all the gold. And when the dollar fall, they're gonna try to get everybody to go under their currency.
And 59 more countries just signed up for BRICS.
So everything y'all brothers said is on point. We got another video to back up everything you just said, Officer Thomas. Vladimir Putin is building bridges with India and Russia as we speak. Okay, and it's very important because BRICS is everything you said is on point. Play on.
Of 2024. By the time you're watching this video, it's probably already 35 trillion. The combination of high debt, high inflation is a lethal poison that continues to devalue the dollar month after month, month after month. And you don't have to be an economist to understand that adding $1 trillion in debt every 100 days is an unsustainable trajectory. And on top of all of these factors that have been burning behind the scenes for decades, the next thing to come is the introduction of a digital currency, a central bank.
Quick. Interest of time. China has what they call a social credit score. The acronym CB, Central Bank, CBDC, Central Bank Digital Currency. So the actual paper money and coin money has gone away in China. They pay with everything is digital. And they have all these security cameras, so if you break a law and they catch you and have proof on it, they can go into your bank account and extract money out of your account, and there's nothing you could do about it. They are moving towards social credit scores and central bank digital currency. And they're going to make it all seem like the U.S. is in so much debt. You're going to find that many people are going to the banks. If you go try to take out a couple $100, you're not going to have a problem. If you have that kind of money and you go to try to take out $10,000, $20,000, people are being told you can't take it out. You have to come back or take it out in increments. But why? I'm federally insured for $200,000. I want my money. This is what's going on right now. They're doing these things to make it seem as if there's a problem. Then they're going to hit the whammy on you, and everything's going to be forced to go digital. And it's already starting. Go to the airport. Certain places, they don't take cash anymore. Apple Pay. That's the beginning. Apple Pay is the beginning. Little ding, your Apple Watch. Samsung Pay. All these things were the beginning. They were showing us what they were going to do. Go look at China. They unrolled it already. Okay, they can label you if you don't pay your bills, you don't do something, or you do. They'll take your picture and put the words and publicly shame you on the train stations and at different digital media boards. We're going to that.
They don't even have to see your face in China. They could tell you by how you walk. They can trace your gait and they can see how you walk and they can know that is you. That's how their technology is working over there in China.
That's the next level, and that's why every one of us probably at one point have shopped at Walmart. If you ever go through self-checkout, if you look at all the video screens, you see these red little squares around your faces. That's the technology, and they put these at these major stores because they're working on it. And eventually, as they go away from paper money, those cameras are going to be everywhere. And they're, like Officer Thomas said, they're going to be able to track you because there's algorithms that learn. Also, facial recognition is getting a lot better. And AI, artificial intelligence, is going to take this in years to come to the next level where they're going to be able to implement a social credit score. And the algorithms are going to be so good, AI is going to be so good that you literally are not going to be able to escape it. And this is coming in our lifetime. And the U.S., like Deacon Malachi said, we're not really in debt. We're not really worried about all this stuff. BRICS, although it is a good thing that they're doing to try to come up with a different currency, the U.S. is just going to change the game. They're going to create a whole different platform. They're going to rule on that platform until the Lord raises up Ishmael, until the Lord seals 144,000, until the day of Armageddon comes. The U.S. will be in power. As much as it looks like they're, oh gosh, the economy, this and that, they're gonna switch it up. They're gonna change the game. Central bank digital currency is coming. Be ready. You wait. You're gonna see it. We almost done.
Currency, moving away from the U.S. dollar and towards a central bank digital currency, of course, poses a multitude of risks for the American people. In fact, demoting the dollar could very well lay the groundwork for significant intrusion upon financial privacy and open the door to complete governmental control. If this sounds like the craziest thing you've ever heard, you've got to check out the full video where I go over all of the implications of a digital currency, including real examples that are already happening all across the world. This is the ultimate surveillance mechanism. And they, of course, can tell you, oh, you've spent too much money on gasoline this month, so your carbon footprint has exceeded the allotment. You cannot drive for the rest of the month. You cannot buy more gasoline. Your central bank digital currency is cut off for buying gasoline or petrol.
To that point, Cap, I don't know who here shops at Sam's. You remember when you used to go to Sam's, right? They would take their little device and they scan your receipt to see what items you purchased. They got this big, it's like almost like a giant metal detector. It's got a camera on it. When you walk through it, they just look at oh no, you can just keep going. They already know what you got.
That happened yesterday.
Yeah.
And I asked the lady, not yesterday, 2 days ago, I go to Sam's usually near my job, and they always used to ask for the receipt. This last time I came through, and this black lady, I'm like, damn, she lazy as hell, not doing her job. And I said, wait a minute. And then the guy behind me did it. Then they don't do it anymore. So that's what that is. Yes. I didn't realize that.
Damn. When you walk through, they got it's got like a little scanner. Everything in your cart, like to also Thomas's point, they track what you. Okay, yep, we already know what he got. See how they walking. They tracking everything already.
Hey, I just feel the spirit's on me. This digital currency is not the mark of the beast. For the dummy out there that's thinking it right now, it's not the mark of the beast. Job 10:14. Let's get that real quick, just before anybody even says it.
The book of Job, chapter 10, verse 14. If I sin, then thou markest me, and thou wilt not acquit me from mine iniquity.
Sin is the mark of the beast. When you sin, it is marked. That's the mark of the beast. That's the mark, not digital currency.
Right. Credit card is a digital currency. Your PayPal is a digital currency. They've already consumed and conditioned us to do these things. And that's why they're going to be able to do it. It's not the mark of the beast, but it's another way to control. And they can seize things out of your banking account. And it's more of how they're going to come at the Israelites. That we're going to have to make some tough decisions, and it's going to test our faith. And this is why we do shows like this, to show you that while all this stuff is going on in the U.S., look what's happening. All right? Is that it on that? Okay, come on.
Happening, folks. This is a reality. And now look at this headline. BRICS countries to stop trading in U.S. dollar. Plans to introduce new currency. Yes, the group is turning towards blockchain technology, developing a new currency system backed by gold, backed by actual commodities. Does that sound unfamiliar to you? Because the United States is not backed by gold anymore. And it is set to replace the already frail and weakening U.S. dollar. So when you combine all of these things we talked about today, the growth of China, the advent of a digital currency, other countries stepping back from using the dollar, mounting national debt, and more, it becomes increasingly clear that there's no hope for the future of the U.S. dollar. And because of this, of course...
Hey, real quick, if you brothers please bring something up. You got something, bring it out.
Yeah, I just wanted everybody to know, because we was doing that crypto stuff like last year before, and blockchain technology basically gets rid of the bank. The bank transactions that you do, the blockchain does all of that. It accounts for everything. It's like an AI bank. So the need to have something like a national bank, or you go to Capital One Bank or whatever federal credit union you may have, that's going to be null and void if all of this stuff goes through.
Hey, bring that out. That's good stuff right there. It's a TikTok short by Clayton Morris. Cap, you posted that earlier. This same guy that does Morris Invest, he's getting into the petrodollar. And you have posted, this is a very good, this is what people should know about.
And to Captain's point, it's almost nearly impossible now. When you call somebody, would you like us to send you a link? Would you like us to do this? Please check your text message. Right. You're not getting people on the phone. They already, it's slow. They slowly doing it. You call to try to speak to a representative. You got to push. I know I had to push like press 1, press 5, press 8, press 6. Okay, now please hold. Is this your phone number? We will return your call in 25 minutes. That's what you getting now. That's what you getting. They already doing it.
What this is heavy, y'all. This is heavy information we're about to get into.
Yeah, this next video say goodbye to the petrodollar. The petrodollar was signed into law by Richard Nixon. It was money backed by oil and gas. But if the people that own the oil and the gas, aka Ishmael, stop doing business with you, what's gonna happen? Play that.
Officially said bye-bye. The Crown Prince, Mohammed bin Salman, has chosen not to renew the partnership with the United States, opting instead to open Saudi oil trade to other countries and other currencies. Hello, China. Hello, Russia. I mean, holy smokes, guys. I mean, I can't understate how big a deal this is. This is a massive blow to the status of the U.S. dollar as the world's only reserve currency, a position it has held for 5 decades. Now, we've been warning for months that this was about to happen. With Saudi Arabia now joining China's central bank digital currency project, we are witnessing a seismic shift in the landscape of global trade and global finance. The era of the U.S. dollar as the sole superpower currency is officially over. This is not hyperbole. U.S. dollar dominance is now over. Something seismic happened on June 10th and the 11th at the BRICS foreign ministers meeting. 59 new countries announced plans to join BRICS. And during the meeting, they agreed.
So, the new young prince, we was talking about this young prince like months ago. saying that this dude is no joke, he ain't playing. He said, I'm not renewing the deal to continue to trade with the petrodollar. Not doing it. I'm going to open up to other avenues, which means, like he said, they're all the way over there. The U.S. is all the way over here in the West. They're going to partner with their close buddies. They're going to partner with India. They're going to partner with Russia. They're going to partner with China. They're going to partner with Korea. They're going to partner with the rest of their brothers. Guess what? The United States going to be up a creek. 59 more countries just signed up. 59. Can I get a scripture? Obadiah. 59 countries just signed up for BRICS. If you thought that I was playing before, I wasn't. He just solidified it. 59 countries. They already have how many countries joined just this past year at January 1st? Like 8 or 9. They got 59 more coming after that. Read that, Obadiah. Reverse, I think it's 3.
Obadiah, verse 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee. Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
And they said that for the past 50 years. We're not going to have anything back. We're not going to have our currency backed by gold. We're going to have it backed by gas. Everybody needs gas. Everybody needs oil. We're going to run the oil trade. And our currency is going to be the reserve currency of the whole world. Even if they want to trade with each other, they got to use our money. That's going to keep us in power. They say, can't nobody bring us down. But the Lord is starting to show. Read.
Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, said the Lord.
Since 1969, this place has been on a decline. It's been on a decline. As soon as they made it to the moon, they start to fall. And guess what? Now we're starting to see the whole picture starting to come together. Ishmael is starting to join together. Other countries are starting to join together. And guess what? Eventually, the 10 horns are going to hate the whore. But not before we go through our trouble. So stay tuned, Israel. It's about to turn up.
Hey, go to timestamp. Russia and India economic stand is 9:18 on the bottom right corner. And it's the first 3 minutes. So right along the same vein of Russia and India. This guy's Cyrus is a very boring, but he's got a good channel with information is something that we could use. So play this guy.
Right.
There you go. So remember, Moody went to Russia. And remember we covered the show, how, Cap, you pointed out how it was a sincere, he gave him a bear hug, he wouldn't let him go. You could tell that they genuinely want their partnerships in their countries to work. Whereas smoking Joe Biden doesn't know when to shake the hand, where he's supposed to stand, and he's the leader of the free world. Yep. Listen to the alliance. Thomas said it earlier about the don't sleep on India. Well, Russia's definitely not sleeping on India. They're going to use India. Play.
Important allies has officially teamed up with Russia in one of the largest de-dollarization efforts we've seen to date. And if you still aren't taking the BRICS organization and de-dollarization seriously, we're going to be breaking down several trends happening around the world and what this means for the future of the US dollar. Now, this all started a couple of weeks ago when India's Prime Minister Modi flew to Moscow to personally meet with Vladimir Putin. The two leaders sat down and discussed the bilateral trade between both nations, which stood at $65 billion last year, up an incredible...
Real quick. Why is that important? The $65 billion last year, what currency did they trade in? The US dollar. Why? It's the reserve global trade a value, right? When that goes away, now the U.S. doesn't get any cut of that. This is why Morris said this is the biggest thing that you ever happened to the U.S. dollar. The petro deal is done. It's no longer the world's currency. Why is that not an emergency situation? What? Because they can blind you with stupid rap, Trump assassin, Mr. Temp. Now they show you Biden stepping down, a political circus. They have your mind over just stupid, entertaining things. And the U.S. dollar is going down. Play on.
33% from the previous year. India is now the top purchaser of Russian oil, and as this graph illustrates, has increased its purchases of Russian oil by a whopping 1,800% since the 2022 invasion of Ukraine. I can't stress how big a deal this is, because while the U.S. and its allies have imposed over 16,000 sanctions on Russia, over 85% of the world hasn't agreed to them, and Russia is finding many creative loopholes like this partnership with India to get around every single one of these sanctions. But the latest deal between India and Russia...
Go back real quick. Run it back to what he said, 85% of the world didn't follow those sanctions. Play.
Loopholes like this partnership with India to get around every single one of these sanctions. But the latest...
Yeah, go back. Yeah. A
hasn't
little bit
agreed
before
to
that.
them.
A little bit before that.
Deal this is, because while the U.S. and its allies have imposed over 16,000 sanctions on Russia, over 85% of the world hasn't agreed to them. And
over 85% of the world has not agreed to these sanctions. Read Obadiah again.
The book of Obadiah, verse 3. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock.
Is it verse 1 or 2 I want? Verse 2, right?
Verse 2. Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art
Read it
greatly.
again.
Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen.
I have made thee small among the heathen, he says. 85% of the countries in the world are not listening to your over 16,000 sanctions. Read.
Thou art greatly despised.
What? Read it again.
Behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. The pride of thine heart hath deceived thee.
But the pride of your heart has deceived you. You think you are bigger than what you are. You think you have more power than you actually have. God bless America and nowhere else. Yeah, let's see. Read.
Thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose
Caucasians,
whose habitation is high. That saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
You about to see. You about to see the Most High is working right now. 85% of the countries in the world said, F y'all sanctions. We're going to deal with Russia.
Hey, and to the point of Samika, I thought you were going to, you indirectly did point to this. And Captain Matt just mentioned in that article, the TikTok video, 59 countries are waiting to come into BRICS. There's also the other major countries, which is Brazil, China, Russia, South Africa. There's the large percentage of that 85%.
Cap, there's 195 countries in the world.
Wow.
59 of them. Not including the ones that's already with BRICS.
Right.
59 of them just asked to join BRICS.
Hey, and Cap, to that point right there, what people don't understand is those 16,000 sanctions are about as useful as the American dollar's becoming. Because those debts that America hold over them people, they saying, look, we don't honor your money no more, so therefore we're not paying you. Remember, Trump was saying y'all got to pay. They're like, man, the hell with the dollar. We don't honor that money system no more. So we're not paying you anything. That's going to cause some problems.
That's war talk.
That's
right
war
there.
talk. Like, I don't care about your money. I don't honor that debt.
And earlier we read that's why the U.S. has to use the military as a bullying tactic to get people to trade. And it's what they're going to do. They're going to, once they make the banks fail, they're going to go to a digital currency. The whole world is going to go to a digital currency, and then it's going to be a war for the digital currency. And the U.S. is going to win until the Lord allows these Arabs to rise up and to allow the 12 tribes to get sealed, and our deliverance shall come. So we're just showing you what's going on. We got get Lena Petrova. That is, I'm going to cut that one short. So the U.S., why is China so greatly surpassed the United States? Why does India have so many more engineers and scientists in their country? It's because the U.S. has been so busy abroad giving international funds and fighting wars, they have failed at taking care of home. And watch what Lena Petrova says. There's 3 things she touches on.
The United States simply cannot outcompete China right now, especially in those absolutely critical areas such as semiconductors and other key industrial goods. The United States, and by the U.S. I mean, of course, its political leadership, for decades has failed to recognize the importance of investing in 3 key areas: in manufacturing, in infrastructure, and the third one is innovation.
Pause. So when she said, what did she say the first thing was? So she said, no, it wasn't investment. Run it back real quick.
The importance of investing in 3 key areas: in manufacturing.
Stop. Manufacturing, that's why when they had NAFTA, when Trump did away with that, many of the companies decided to expand overseas in Malaysia, in Taiwan, in these different countries where they can get cheap labor and then now sell back with no tariffs, taxes by the U.S. All of those things weaken the economy. Now it's very, very rare to have manufacturing in the United States. The second thing she said was, play on.
Infrastructure. And the third.
That's why the highways got a D. Look at a lot of the roads. Look at the highway systems. Look at the lack of high-speed rails. Go to China. Go to Japan. They got high-speed rails that get you from 4 hours away by car. They're doing it in like 25 minutes. Where's the trains are outdated. The subways are the same as they were a lot of times in the 80s. Where is the bridge system? Where's the expansion of, and this takes all math and engineering, which the United States public school system is just a 100% fail. So we have failed in building, in highways, in transportation. Where, give an example, you might be able to find it. In China, they have trains that go under people's houses. There's a tube that comes up. The door opens up in their apartments. It opens up and it shoots. I thought it was a joke. It's not. And a tube comes up like the Jetsons, and the kid walks out. The train closes the door, and then the train keeps going. It's like you thought it was a movie. That's what goes on in China. We absolutely have failed in infrastructure. And if you beef up the infrastructure, what do you need? You need a lot of American workers. And that's what this white America, which a lot of black people that are lost in the sauce, they know that Trump is in the interest of drill, baby, drill, bring jobs back, bring manufacturing back. Companies, American companies that do business overseas, now instead of no port charges, they're going to get hit with a 25% tax. He's trying to get jobs, manufacturing back to the U.S. That's what you hear. Well, the last 4 decades, 5 decades, since they've been fat catting off the petrodollar, money's coming to us, whatever. And that's where China has stepped in, Russia has stepped in, and they're building up their infrastructure. They're building up their investment, and they're building up all of their creative innovations. Somebody has something.
It just reminds me of, 'cause you know, I like The Dark Knight Rises with Bane. He said, peace has cost you your strength. Victory has defeated you.
Right.
That's what happened with the United States. Like you just said, they fat catting off the petrodollar, they wasn't doing nothing. Years ago, they was calling Trump a racist because he was like, to hell with all of them other countries, we need American jobs. We need to stop dealing with all these countries, create American jobs. They were looking at this dude like he had 2 heads. Not that I'm pro-Trump. I'm just saying he had the best interest for his people. And now you're looking at it like, okay, cheap labor. I don't want to pay my own people. All right, now you have people doing all kind of weird stuff, and now all the countries are like, you know what? No, I don't want your infrastructure, because your infrastructure comes with me having to owe you something.
Exactly.
Every time that they set up infrastructure, the United States set up infrastructure in another country, they are in debt to the United States.
And think about the hundreds of billions of dollars that the U.S. has spent in Israel on that war and the war in Ukraine. That's billions of dollars that could have been put for grants to build up highways, to actually do, what about a high-speed rail that could go across the breadbasket of the United States, say from a New York to, say, a San Francisco, say from a Atlanta to a San Diego, all across. Imagine what they could do. They did it in the 1800s with the steam engine. Imagine, this is real, right? Is this a fake video? Is this real? Watch. So this is? Oh, I thought it was real. Damn it. Well, let's see.
But it's not far-fetched that they would make this and then work towards it.
So, if this is fake, right? But the technology is there, and if they could, it's probably coming. Play this.
Subway is connected directly to a kid's home.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
He doesn't need to be picked up from school any longer.
You can see it's fake, but okay.
He comes straight into his room.
Okay, it is.
What a cool idea.
That's all. Thank the Lord that Captain Matt. But that is coming. And high-speed rails, by the way, when there's a black sister, she lives in Japan. She does these little videos. And at 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, she goes to the store to get something at 7-Eleven. The streets are clean. She's not worried about anything. They have the manufacturing and they have the infrastructure that's clean and much better. Graffiti streets, abandoned buildings. That's what we have in a lot of these American cities. Other cities in the world are not like that, okay? And Japan, China, these cities are booming. Play on. That's it. After this, we're done.
And the third one is innovation. We're sending billions overseas, literally to wage wars year after year. Our senators, some of them were even presidential hopefuls, and I'm sure you know who I'm talking about here, go as far as to personally sign bombs with a personalized message before those bombs are shipped overseas, instead of serving the interests of their direct.
So remember before we showed you the hundreds of thousands of people in Yemen all talking about free Gaza? You don't think that the Arabs see that these white U.S. congresswomen and men are signing the bombs that are killing their Arab brothers? You don't think they're paying attention to that? You don't think that they feel extremely disrespected? And when they see that, they internalize it, and that's what is going to make them come together. Can you imagine? Let's just think about it. Let's flip it. If Arabs signed a bomb and was bombing white people, all white people would come together, and they would form an allegiance all just to go after them. That's what they're going to do. They don't have the power like the U.S. and the U.K. and France has and Germany has. But when they come together and the time is right, the Lord is going to give them the chariots. He's going to make it happen. And they're going to go and they're going to like Obadiah 1 and Isaiah 14. This guy, who the hell is this guy? And the Lord going to give them power. All right, play this out, and we're going to go to Laura back attack.
Instead of focusing on those three areas that I just mentioned a minute ago, on innovation, on manufacturing, and on American infrastructure, that would have lifted, those three areas would have lifted millions of Americans out of poverty. And it would have made all of us so much better off. So in this video, I will walk you through a quick overview of the...
There's an article, 914, in this I just was from today. It's just a quick article, CNN article about, remember we talked about Russia, China, and India? Now, it's not just on the economic front. Check this out. Let's read this. This is from today at almost 5 o'clock Eastern time. So check this out.
NORAD intercepts Russian and Chinese bombers operating together near Alaska in first such flight.
Do me a favor. Pull up a map of Western Alaska. Western Alaska. Because Alaska has a very unique geographic position in the fact that it is very close to another country. Those of us who are geography, we're familiar with it. Alaska, a lot of people don't. Alaska's way up there past Canada. We don't really pay attention to it. There's a reason why the U.S. got Alaska. It was solely for military air superiority. That's why they got it, for a military strike point. Why the hell doesn't Canada have it? It's way past Canada because the U.S. needed it, just like it needed Hawaii. They don't give a damn about the pineapples that grow over there. They care about staging to fight the different wars. Can we? Okay. Yes, sir. So let's read it. That's okay. Let's read this. Yes, sir.
The North American Aerospace Defense Command intercepted 2 Russian and 2 Chinese bombers flying near Alaska Wednesday in what a U.S. defense official said was the first time the 2 countries have been intercepted while operating together.
So remember, BRICS is the economic side of the house. Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Now, we got reports on mainstream Caucasian news network that guess what? That Russia and China are flying military bombers, not commercial aviation, military bombers off the coast of Alaska. So what does that tell you? Why wasn't they doing that 20 years ago? Because they know the U.S. is getting weaker. It's like you in the water and you got blood on you, and there's sharks coming around. They're starting to come around the U.S., and we're living in these days. Can we pan out a little bit? Okay. So just to share with you, if you look at Wade Hampton and Bethel, the pink, if you go directly 9 o'clock to your left, Russia is right there. Matter of fact, that is called the Bering Strait, and Esau has the Russians, Eskimos came over on the land bridge. There was a land bridge there that during so-called Ice Age connected those lands. So Russia is right there. It's just the Bering Strait that separates that. And China and Russia were doing aviation military drills with bombers together right near the Alaska border, to the point where U.S. Aero Fleet, whatever it is saying, look, this is what's going off our coast. So it coincides with the fact that petro deal is done and the U.S. dollar is going down. And with that, countries are forming alliances, and they are rising up. We're living in that's Russia right there. Go back. It's right there. You did it. I'm not even mad at these tech guys. I gave them like 45 minutes for the show. So I'm not mad at all. They did a good job for what I gave them. So look, right there. You right there. So look how close Russia is to Nome, Alaska. I bet you the distance between that is no more than 50 miles. Probably no more than that.
One couple, they live in Nome, Alaska, and they did a video where it was like standing on the cliff, and they said, hey, look, I can see Russia. And it was literally right across the way. So it's within eye shot.
Wow. I love to, I'm not going to ask you to do it now. I would love to know the distance between Nome and Russia. I bet you it's no more than 50 miles. And that right there just shows you that the U.S. really, they should have used diplomacy with Vladimir Putin. Because if they were to ever go to the east coast of Russia and fire missiles, they're hitting Cali all day. Look at that. Look how close they are. They're damn near touching Alaska. No.
According to this, it's 55 miles.
Okay, so yeah, that's Captain Mag got one is 55. So that distance
at
is
its closest
55
point.
miles.
At its closest point. There you go. 55 miles.
Look at that map. Y'all got to see this. So this is what's going on in the news. It's not being reported. Well, CNN did report that, but there's many things that we need to be aware in these last days. So thanks for sticking around. We're keeping our time tonight. Last section, Laura Back Attack. Stick around. Shalom.
Yeah, you can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in. Even if it's a dead end, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it all for my calling. If I die for the truth, it's a win-win. And going to the end, going all in. Going all in. Yeah, you can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in.
Hey, shalom, Israel. Welcome to the Law Back Attack. We're going to be short. We're almost done. Thanks for staying with us. It's past midnight in most of the East Coast. Check this out. Being fat, you think you may have the advantage with some things. Some things you don't. So this particular gentleman, I'm going to framework it. He is thinking, well, maybe I can be a petty thief. Maybe I can get away with it. Let's find out. Watch this particular gentleman. There he goes. There he goes. He got outside. Look at him. Oh, gosh. A hard fall. The clerk didn't even have to run. He just walks up to him. And now that man actually broke his ankle. He actually got a break right there. So now, look at him. Oh, damn. He done, bro. So, what does that show you? It doesn't pay to be a lard back. If you're obese or morbidly obese, I would not invest your thought process in thinking you can get away with petty crime. Just like last week, the lard back stole the medical professional's lunch. Now, this is a little bit more serious. And this is why I tell you brothers all the time. You men that are obese and even overweight or morbidly obese, which is the worst of all, and you are an officer of 10, an officer of 20, a captain, an officer of 80, you are someone's boss. Spiritually, you're over men, right? And if you're over men and you don't take care of your physical needs, you're going to find that men are not going to respect you. Now, I'm not saying that by all means that people that are overweight and fat can't be good. I'm not saying that. But it's a quality that is unbefitting of a leader. And watch, this is I like the way this guy breaks this down. Check it out.
Accountant or a fat doctor or a fat fucking tax guy.
You're hurting some feelings right now, man.
Imagine how...
I forgot to tell you there's swears in it. Sorry, that's my fault. There's a couple of F-bombs in it, so it's late. All the kids are probably asleep anyways. Play it again.
Have a fat accountant or a fat doctor or a fat fucking tax guy.
You're hurting some feelings right now, man.
Imagine how that fat motherfucker, he can't keep the Cheetos out of his mouth, but he's going to take care of my numbers and my life. He don't even give a fuck about himself. Like your fitness is a requirement. Like I can't fuck with you if you're not into working out and you're fit. I just can't. I can't do it. I can't have a conversation with you. I can't comprehend that. How you could not give a fuck about yourself. That's where it all starts. Leadership.
Pause. Leadership starts with taking care of yourself. Here's the leadership and wisdom of God, which we read probably every show, Sirach 30:25. Why? Because a leader has to examine himself and say, okay, in this area, I might be disorganized. So, I got to take 10 minutes every day to organize myself, right? Might be, I fly off the handle too much. I got to slow myself down and think things through before I rush to judgment. It's the same thing with your health. Here you are, 70 pounds of fat overweight. You got to say to yourself, as a leader, I'm not doing the right thing. I'm setting a bad example for the men under me, and I'm not being a leader that shows how to be with health. Every one of you are supposed to do that. Read this.
The book of Sirach, chapter 30 and verse 25. A cheerful and good heart will have a care of his meat and diet.
So a leader is going to look at his meat and diet and realize, nah, I'm not doing this right. I got to fix it. Now, Esau is just coming raw with it, but he's right. You want to go to an accountant that does your numbers, that's supposed to be paying attention to and this person is 100 pounds overweight, or let alone a doctor. This brother I know was going to go to med school. You know who I'm talking about, Big Red. And you want me to take medical advice from you, and you're morbidly obese, and you're obese? So by default, you have horrible blood pressure. And you're telling me that I should do what? It's the same thing. You brothers, that's why we're having a national standard coming out for not BMI, body fat percentage, which is going to be measured. It was going to be finalized. It was going to be measured. It's all going to roll out. So you brothers that do not care about your meat and diet, who are leaders, the soldier is an entry-level leader. An officer of 10 is over 10 men. An officer of 20 and so on and so forth. But yet you walk out unsatisfactory. You're not setting the example as an ambassador, right? And you want men to respect and follow you. You cannot teach them anything about any of the scriptures on health or anything related to being, having military bearing on your evaluations, right? Now, play it again, the whole thing again, please.
Have a fat accountant or a fat doctor or a fat fucking tax
You're
guy.
hurting some feelings right now, man.
Imagine how that fat motherfucker.
The brother said, you're hurting some feelings right now. Because what happens is when people speak the truth, like that guy's speaking the truth, he may sound a little rough. The black dude is like, yo, you might be hurting people's feelings because we've been conditioned in this society to stick up for fat people. Well, I don't stick up for people. If someone's got cancer, we're supposed to stick up for them? Nah, brother, do what you can to try to beat cancer. Somebody has a big cut in their arm. Just feel sorry for them? No, get to the hospital. You got to get stitched up. You got to address the problem. This is a disorder. You break your finger. Hope good luck healing. No, you got to get a cast on. You got to get a line. If you have to get surgery, that has to be done. Obesity is a medical disorder that can be eliminated, that can be reversed, that can be done away with. So fat shaming is the most loved. I'm telling you something right now. Any brother that I'm around, that if I do not tell you about yourself, I don't care about you, man. And so we're going to eliminate obesity in the ranks of IUIC. Why? Because there's a standard that's coming. Why? Because you men that are leaders are bosses. You're overmen. They look up to you. They have to go to you for counsel. They go to you for guidance. They go for you. They look up to you as a righteous example. And those of you who are obese, you're doing a horrible damn job. Play it again.
Keep the Cheetos out of his mouth, but he's going to take care of my numbers and my life. He don't even give a fuck about himself. Like your fitness is a requirement. Like I can't fuck with you if you're not into working out and you're fit. I just can't. I can't do it. I can't have a conversation with you. I can't comprehend that. How you could not give a fuck about yourself. That's where it all starts. Leadership, you want to talk about leadership, starts with yourself. There's 4 dimensions of leadership. And most people think they just want being a leader. All right, I have followers. I'm leading men. That's the second level. The first level is you need to lead your motherfucking self first. And if you that starts.
And I'm going to stop right there. The first step of leadership is leading yourself. That's why the scripture says examine yourself. It is on the lines of, okay, if I have a lust demon on me, I should take all pornography off my phone. I should limit my phone features if that's what I struggle with. If I am a recovering drunk, maybe on the ride home from work, I should go an alternate route that goes away from the bars. Or if I have a bunch of brothers that I hang with, and every once in a while they're cracking a couple of beers, I know that I'll go over. I have to separate myself from that. It's the same thing with being a leader when it comes to your health. You must identify that you have a weak point and now begin to do something about it. It got to the point where it was all this ground up grassroots and rah-rah, and that people don't work no more. Now there's a standard. Now you're going to hit with the accountability stick. What the hell are you going to do about it? You're going to sit in the back and weave palm tree baskets? Is that what you want to do while your brothers go to war? Or are you going to do the right thing, be a leader first? The first level of leadership is handling yourself. Get rid of the fat. Get healthy to lose the weight. And now show that you care about yourself. Now you can go into the different phases of leadership. Or you're going to cave like the weak, fat, selfish brat that you are, and you're never going to lose the weight. And you're going to fade to black. And you'll just start missing a Sabbath. Missing another Sabbath. What happened to so-and-so? We don't see him no more. All because there's a standard that's going to force you to care about yourself. So with that, I'm Captain Shem. Larback Attack. Shalom.
Yeah. You can tell by my gait that I'm all in. You can tell by my faith that I'm all in. Front line with the truth, I'ma fall in. Even if it's a dead end, going all in. You can tell by the things I'm involved in. I can lose it all for my calling.
Hey, once again, y'all know what it is, Israel. Scan the QR code. Let us know how the broadcasting technology team is doing. Did they redeem themselves in the second half of the show? Let us know. Hey, make sure y'all giving alms. Hey, alms make a covering of a multitude of sins. So y'all give alms. Y'all can give alms at your local school by dropping in the envelope in the alms box. Do it via PayPal. Hey, look, if y'all want to donate to Precept Upon Precept, y'all can go online to PayPal and type in iuic.neworleans@israelunite.org. Also, make sure y'all give into the Booster Club, iuic.fundraising@israelunite.org. Give to the Booster Club, y'all.
Hey, shalom, y'all. Thanks for sticking around. Hey, tech team, they did a pretty good job tonight. They got some last-minute stuff. We hope you enjoyed the show tonight. We ask you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, also our Rumble, Twitter, like, share, and help us to get to 30,000. We believe that we are being shadow banned because we have almost 30,000 subscribers, but our YouTube videos are only getting 180 views, 380 views. Something's going on. So we encourage all of you to watch our videos. Hey, tell us where we hate. The camp videos are weak or the camp videos need improvement. That's fine. Just watch them and critique them. It's going to help us with the formula. All right, so with that, Precept Upon Precept, The Late Show. I'm Captain Shem.
Captain Matt.
Officer Mikael.
Officer Micah.
Officer Thomas.
Hey, Israel, with that, we say
Shalom.
There's a special place that I like to go when nobody's home to increase my understanding. My daily bread that amazing. I'm talking about precepts. Precept on precept, line upon line. Precept on precept, line upon line. I can't keep explaining, can't study for you.